The true story of South Africa, from the Khoisan to the present. 1. In the beginning, there were the Khoi and San, the original soul of the land, before the names South Africa, Africa, or even black and white were spoken here. There were the Khoi and San. They are not a footnote, they are the foundation. The San were hunter-gatherers, living lightly on the land, following rhythms of nature with deep spiritual reverence. The Khoi were pastoralists, herders of cattle, moving in harmony with the seasons, staking no claim but always knowing where they belonged. For tens of thousands of years, these two peoples lived in harmony with the land and with each other, so deeply interwoven that over time they became one. The Khoisan, they were not poor. They were rich in knowledge, in land, in language, in art, in balance. They were not homeless. They were the land. This is the first and primary phase of South Africa. All that came later is built on their soil, their bones, and their being. 2. The arrival of Europeans. The second thread in the fabric. Centuries later, Europeans arrived, not in conquest at first, but by wind and sea, drawn by the stars and trade. The Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British did not invade a nation-state. There was no South Africa to conquer, no border to cross. They came as explorers, settlers, navigators, and while skirmishes occurred, this was not genocide. The Khoisan survived. European settlers did not erase them. They interacted, traded, and in time intermarried. Europeans brought tools, writing, scientific agriculture, the first mapped territories, legal systems, schools, and medical practice. This is not to deny injustice, but to state truth. The European came and built side by side with nature and conflict alike. They did not displace the Khoisan overnight. They coexisted. 3. The arrival of the Bantu-speaking Africans. A later wave, not the first. From the north came the Bantu-speaking peoples, the ancestors of what is today called the Black African population. They were not native. They were migrants, arriving in waves, centuries after the Khoisan had already made the land their home. This migration was progressive, violent in some cases. The Mfecane crushed entire tribes, expansionist, settling into lands that had been Khoisan ecosystems. They were larger in number and brought with them iron tools, permanent settlements, kingdom structures. But let's be honest, they did not come to ask who owns the land. They came to settle and expand, just as any human does. So, if you arrive after the Khoisan and after the early European settlements, how can you now claim to own the land above all others? You arrived in time, yes, but not at the beginning. 4. The arrival of Indians, a working people who rooted themselves in the soil. In the 19th century, the British Empire brought thousands of Indian workers to work in sugar plantations. They were not colonists, they were laborers, and yet over time, through hard work, family networks, business acumen, they rooted themselves here. They built mosques, temples, schools, and enterprises. They too became part of the fabric of this land. To tell them now that they are outsiders is to spit on history. 5. And today, the Khoisan are called colored, a people erased by words. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is what happened to the first people. Today, the Khoisan have been renamed, repackaged, and forgotten. They are called colored, a colonial word that makes them seem like a racial middle ground, a byproduct, a blur. But this is a lie. Many colored South Africans are not mixed leftovers of history. They are the living descendants of the Khoisan, the people who sang to the stars before anyone else arrived, the ones whose blood runs deepest in this land. To ignore them in national discourse is not just amnesia, it is erasure. Conclusion: so who owns South Africa? No one and everyone. South Africa was never black land. It was never white land. It was never Indian land. It was first Khoisan land, shared, spiritual, unpossessed. Then came others. Some sailed, some walked, some were brought, some conquered, some cultivated. We are not enemies. We are a human mosaic, born of movement, sweat, prayer, and struggle. The lie of ownership is the poison. The truth of shared humanity is the cure. Let us now stop the lies. Let us honor the Khoisan, recognize the journey of each group, and build a nation not of owners and outsiders, but of humans, rooted, real, and reconciled.
ocean run, a land of beauty wild and free. The savannah sings its melody, from the rolling hills to the endless sky. The whispers of nature, oh, they fly high. Peru's embrace a canvas so wide. In this land we take pride. South Africa, land of the savannah, with dreams that shine like the morning panorama. From the Karoo's heart to the Western Cape, every corner's a story, every moment escape. Cacti reaching for the sunlit glow, where the desert blooms and the rivers flow. Little Karoo, a jewel of the West, in this ruggedness we find our rest. The colors of dusk paint the sky, as the animals roam and the eagles fly. In the stillness of night, under stars so bright, the spirit of Karoo, it feels so right. South Africa, land of the savannah, with dreams that shine like the morning panorama. From the Karoo's heart to the Western Cape, every corner's a story, every moment escape. In the whispers of the wind